This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, you're watching Pulse of Africa. I am Tinsai Gabriel for the main news. First, our top stories for today. Ethiopia inaugurates Africa's largest hydropower dam. Ethiopia marks historic eve of GERD inauguration. African leaders call for enhanced climate solutions. Now, the news in detail. Ethiopia has officially inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, marking a historic milestone as Africa's largest hydropower project. The unveiling of the commemorative plaques were led by President William Ruto of Kenya and President Ismail Omar Guelleh of Djibouti, and later joined by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Also attending the inauguration were President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed of Somalia, Russell Miso Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Prime Minister Mia Amor Mottley of Barbados, and other invited dignitaries, highlighting the dam's regional and international significance. The GERD is set to generate over 5,000 megawatts of electricity, significantly boosting Ethiopia's energy capacity and supporting regional power exports. As Ethiopia marks the commissioning of Africa's largest hydropower project, the GERD reflects not only the country's engineering and developmental achievements, but also the collective Pan-African aspirations for empowerment and self-reliant progress across the continent. The GERD stands as a powerful emblem of Pan-Africanism, demonstrating Africa's ability to achieve its development goals independently. The project highlights the continent's potential for self-reliance and represents a shift from dependency towards self-determination and capability. It serves as a tangible example of a shared African dream realized through the collective efforts of its people, echoing principles of Pan-African unity and empowerment. Ethiopia celebrated the eve of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam yesterday, making a historic milestone for the nation's largest hydroelectric project and a symbol of unity and national pride. Ethiopia has officially inaugurated the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, a landmark achievement. The ceremony was attended by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Speaker of the House of Federation, Agenyo Tashagar, Speaker of the House of People's Representatives, Taggese Chafo, and Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Turune and other government officials. As festivities unfolded, Ethiopia's national anthem echoed across the dam site. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was visibly moved, shedding tears of joy as he witnessed the spectacle that crowned years of determination and sacrifice. The evening featured a grand display of national pride, including a dazzling drone show, spectacular fireworks, and rich cultural performances. Across the country, Ethiopians also poured into the streets, celebrating the collective efforts and resilience that brought the GERD to completion. The official inauguration of the GERD, Africa's largest hydroelectric, it will not only end Ethiopia's long-standing energy shortages, but also ushers in a new era of development, prosperity, and regional integration, reinforcing Ethiopia's role as a driver of mutual progress in Africa. Former Minister of Water and Energy, Sleshi Bekele, and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam realized a centuries-old dream to harness the power of the Abai for national development and regional transformation. He said the GERD symbolizes Ethiopia's pride and sovereignty. For centuries, our people dreamed of harnessing the Abai to drive progress. Today, that vision is fulfilled, he noted. He recalled Ethiopia's long struggle against economic, political, and technical challenges, stressing that resilience and unity carried the nation to this historic success. Sleshi underscored that the dam, built with Ethiopian sacrifice, will benefit not only Ethiopia, but also neighbors by supplying clean energy and advancing regional growth. With a capacity of more than 5,000 megawatts, the GERD stands as Africa's largest hydropower project and a milestone for Ethiopia's determination and self-reliance. African leaders called for stronger climate action and partnerships to advance the continent's green development goals at the second climate summit held in Addis Ababa. Addressing the summit, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed stressed the need to strengthen continental partnerships and collective action to realize common climate goals. He added that Africa must stand not as a bloc of negotiators, but as a continent of solutions, fulfilling the vision of Agenda 2063 for a prosperous, resilient, and innovative future. Prime Minister Abiy also proposed the launch of an African Climate Innovation Compact, a bold, continental-wide partnership uniting Africa's universities, research institutions, startups, rural communities, and innovators. Kenyan President William Ruto called on African nations to view climate action as a catalyst for economic growth and job creation, not just as a burden. Ruto praised the progress made since then, with Africa's voice being heard and its solutions from green infrastructure to climate-smart agriculture being deployed. African Union Commission Chairperson Mohamed Ali Youssef underscored that the African Union firmly believes climate finance must be fair, significant, and predictable. In other news, President Xi Jinping met with Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro in Beijing on Tuesday, highlighting the strong cooperation between the two countries. Marking the 20th anniversary of China-Portugal strategic partnership, Xi stressed China's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties and contributing to global prosperity. He also called on Portugal to work with China to deepen China-EU cooperation amid a complex international landscape. The UN Charter adopted in 1945 to prevent the horrors of war remained vital for maintaining global peace and security, said Philemon Yang, president of the 79th UN General Assembly. Yang noted that the Charter embodies international cooperation, sovereign equality of states, and respect for human dignity, providing a foundation for multilateral diplomacy, decolonization, poverty reduction, and addressing global challenges. Though the UN is not perfect, its enduring values in diplomacy over violence and collective action for a just, peaceful, and secure world, he said. The President called up on nations to uphold the Charter's principles for future generations.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. All the time, Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. Senegal has revised its 2025 oil production forecast for Sangomar offshore field, operated by Australia's Woodside Energy Group, to 34.5 million barrels, up from an earlier estimate of 30.53 million, the Ministry of Energy announced on Monday. The Sangomar field, which began output in June 2024, marked Senegal's entry into the League of Oil-Producing Nations. According to the ministry, the field produced more than 24 million barrels of crude oil between January and August 2025, underscoring its growing contributing to the country's economy. BRICS leaders held a virtual summit yesterday, convened by Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The meeting addressed U.S. tariffs of up to 50% on Brazilian and Indian goods and 30% on Chinese and South African products, viewed as a protectionist and a violation of WTO rules. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin attended, while India was represented by Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. Leaders discussed reducing dependency on the U.S. dollar, promoting trade in local currencies, and advancing multilateralism, WTO reform, and climate finance, including a fund to protect the Amazon. The summit highlighted growing economic cooperation among developing nations in the united front against protectionist trade measures. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today, and thanks for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.